YouTubers, this is Rob Moffat. I've been making my own elderberry syrup for health purposes and because it's delicious. I thought I'd talk to you about this subject. It's kind of an important subject because it could be something that could offer you a lot of health benefits for very little money. For those people who don't grow their own food and plants, this is a video you might want to hang on to. I'm going to show you how you can make your own elderberry syrup without having to grow your own elderberries. This is the elderberry syrup you can get online. It comes from Israel. This company has done laboratory studies to prove that the elderberry will actually keep many of the different cold and viruses from growing. And for a long time I ignored it because it was done by the company, the studies. However, recently I've read some other studies that were done independent of this company in Sweden and other countries, and they duplicated the results. And elderberry has a long history throughout the centuries of being used for colds and for respiratory illnesses, and I thought this was something that was kind of exciting. The research indicates it could be good as Tamiflu, and if we ever do get another pandemic, it's going to be hard for anybody to get Tamiflu. This is something a person could grow themselves. Elderberry grows very well throughout the United States. This particular elderberry is from Europe. It's European elderberry, which the studies have been done on. They haven't done the studies yet on the American elderberry. However, there is early indication that the American elderberry could be even better because it has more polyphenols in it than the European elderberry. But I'm sort of rambling here. Let me tell you, this costs $8. It's very little, but if you had a cold or a flu, this would help you get rid of it. In studies, people have gotten rid of their flu within 2 days as opposed to control groups where they had the flu for over 9 days. And you know, as you get older, it takes you longer and longer to get over colds and flu, so this is a good item to have. But it's like $8. You can purchase your dried elderberries. Now, my dried elderberries didn't come in a jar. It came in this bag. I just put it in this jar. But you can get a pound of dried elderberries for just a few dollars online. And you can take your dried elderberries. I take about half a cup of dried elderberries, 2 cups of water, and a cup of water with a cup of sugar to make some syrup, and I boil it together, end up with about 2 cups of syrup out of a half a cup of dried berries. So you can make a lot of your syrup very inexpensively yourself. But even better, you can grow your own elderberries. Now, I have purchased the seeds online for just like $1 or $2. The problem is the elderberry seeds take a long time to germinate. However, you can grow them quite easily from cuttings. But I'm not going to make the syrup in this episode, this video. This is an episode. Yeah, it's just a video. What am I kidding? It's an episode. But what I do with the syrup is I put it over ice cream or anything you do syrup on, and I didn't make my syrup too thick. Now, if you have a syrup thermometer, if you have a syrup thermometer, it's very easy to make your syrup. Now, I didn't make mine to the high temperature to get a syrup, but it is rather thick. I didn't want it as thick as regular syrup, and I pour it into my iced tea. And instead of adding a ton of sugar, I just add a little bit of syrup and just a tiny bit of sugar, and make a very delicious tea with a berry taste. And that's, to me, one of the best ways I've found to use my syrup. So that's a really quick introductory to the elderberry. Also, I forgot, you can add ginger to your elderberry syrup, and the ginger is super good to help you with any motion sickness if you have upset stomach. I know this from personal use. So this is something you guys want to look into. You can grow elderberry just about any place in America. It's a very prolific plant. The commercial growers get between 3,000 and 4,000 pounds per acre. Some get as high as 10,000 pounds. It has very few pests that bother it. Once it's established, it's pretty easy to continue to grow. It takes pretty good care of itself. I mean, every plant has pests, but it's not that difficult. So I think it's something you want to look into. Also, it's a plant because it's not like a strawberry or a blackberry where people walking by are going to grab your berries. These berries, when they're raw, if they're raw and green, they're not good for you. But when they're cooked, they're okay. But if they're raw, they don't really taste that great raw. But when you process them and cook them up, they're pretty good. So this is going to keep people from just walking by and taking your berries. And there's some work involved, and a lot of bums, they don't want to do the work. They just want to take your stuff. So it's something to look into. And like I said, if we ever do get a pandemic, if we get a bad flu, this could be something that could help you survive, help you combat the flu and the virus. So this is my little video today. I'll be making the syrup later on, and I'll post it for you guys and show you guys how I did it. And I hope this is something that can help you guys. At the bottom of this video, I have some links to where you can. I found some good prices for the berries, and I'm not recommending you buy this because of the expense, but if you go to the site on Amazon, I'll give the link to it. You can see all the people that have used the elderberry syrup and the results they got from it. It's pretty interesting results. Several hundred people have commented how well it's helped them keeping from getting colds and viruses. So I thought you'd enjoy this little video about the elderberry, guys, and I'll be making more elderberry syrup, and I'll be making some pies. And it also makes an excellent wine. From people who make wine that I know of, they say the elderberries make some of the best homemade wine of any berry. Not as good as maybe some grapes, but they make better wine than any berry that you can grow out there. It is a very interesting plant. So that's it for today, guys. Hope you liked the video, and come back. I add more videos every week. Thanks, everybody.